Why prospects say no to you and your contract. Stay tuned. Hey, my friend, this is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. In this edition, we're talking about you're going to learn the main reason why a real estate wholesale prospect, that means your prospects in your real estate wholesale business, would say no to signing your contract during a visit, during an appointment. And I want to dive into a little bit into why somebody would say no to you. Typically, there are only a handful, maybe 2 or 3 different reasons why somebody would say no to your contract. When you pull out a contract and it's time for someone to sign a contract, when you're trying to put a house under contract. So what's wholesaling? Wholesaling is when you put a house under contract and then you turn around and then you sell the equitable interest in that property for higher than your contract price says, right? So you put a house under contract for $220,000. You turn around, you found an end buyer that's saying, yeah, I'm willing to pay $240,000 for that house. So now you have a spread of 240 minus 220. That's $20,000 to make money because you secured the contract at 220. You turn around, you found a willing and able buyer who's willing to pay 240, 250. That's how you make money in wholesaling real estate. Now, there's some legalities to that. There's some step-by-step to that. There's some things you can't, there's certain rules that you cannot break with that, okay? But yet, I have this question that came in from this person, and this person essentially got to a property, right? And the person refused, the quote-unquote motivated seller refused to sign the contract. And then he's wondering, like, what happened? What could have gone wrong? Why is this person called me over to the house, but then they refused to sign the contract? So, in efforts to answer that question, I have a quote from my book, which you can have access to by simply going through myempirepro.com, or you can go through olatalks.com/mastermind, which is the link you see on the screen. I'm preparing my empirepro.com to make it all available to download the book. So you should be able to download that probably by the time you're watching this video. But yeah, I'm going to answer that question first with the quote that I'm about to read to you from that book. You can have access to the book. We're always working on the book, so chances are you will have access to a developing version of the book, but it's just as good, if not better, because again, you have access to it raw in the middle of developing the book. It's a 200 plus pages book that you need to read 10 to 15 times to understand the concept of attraction marketing when you're running your real estate wholesale business. And by the way, any type of business, okay? So the quote goes like this. Are you looking to sell your home? That's a question, right? That's a quote unquote. Are you looking to sell your home? There's absolutely nothing wrong with asking that simple question while prospecting for a real estate wholesaling business. After all, you're seeking to help a motivated seller offload a property, right? But there's one simple problem. A person that you feel the need to ask that question from is not pre-qualified. You can expect to get a negative answer when you haven't taken the time to target the right audience for your product, services, and opportunity and pre-qualify them. There's someone out there who already wants what you have to offer. It's your responsibility to create marketing that targets the right market with your message via the right medium. That's the 3 M's, right? I cover this in details in the 3 P's segment of this book and my video channel. You can Google the 3 P's Ola Talks Abitogun for more information. So that's a quote right there. And then again, that quote, I needed to read that to you so you can understand where I'm coming from when I answer this question that this person sent in. So I'm going to read the question right now. It says, oh, hello, Ola. Hello, Ola. So I've been getting these calls for a while, months, almost a year, and was never able to set an appointment. Okay. So I said he's getting calls from prospects, right? Maybe he's sending, I don't know how, he didn't mention how he's getting these people to call him. But maybe he's sending letters to pre-foreclosures, to people that inherit properties that they don't want, to expired listings, to divorcees, right? But then it's getting these calls back of motivated sellers, people who want to get rid of their property, right? But his problem is that he wasn't able to set an appointment. So the workflow goes like this: somebody calls you, and then you pre-qualify them on the phone with a few questions, right? Making sure that they are in fact motivated to sell their property, right? And then you set an appointment to go see the property, and then simultaneously put the house under contract at the same time. I was so good at this, right, that I would literally not even see the property, and I would have the property under contract because, I was just that busy, where I would just send a fax or an email attached with the contract, and I said sign that and fax that over to me, and I will put houses that I haven't even seen. I've done some due diligence online, look at some basic information that I like to see, and I lock it down at the price point. And I would do that with a lot of the short sales that I did, and I pretty much would not see this property until the bank sent out what you call a BPO. If you don't know what BPO is a short sale. It's something we'll cover extensively on the inside with my short sale course. But anyway, that's beyond the scope of this video. But the bottom line is that if you have the right motivated seller, you don't necessarily need to see a house. If you're confident about your numbers and the information you have about the property, the whole point of going out to a property is so you can observe and see and capture enough information to put it under contract. I was just that good at it that I could put a house under contract without seeing it at some point, right? So he goes, finally, 2 weeks ago, I was able to set an appointment with a lady who seemed very nice and motivated over the phone. Okay, so I don't like the word seem. Okay, I would rather be sure that somebody is motivated, and there's quite a few questions I asked to make sure they're motivated, right? And I can't get into details of that right now, but it's all in the conversation. How bad on a scale of 1 to 10 do you need to sell this property? If they're not telling me a 10, I'm listening out for a 9 with a good reason why it's not a 10, right? Anything below a 9, I'm not going to the property, okay? Because my marketing is pulling in so many calls, I don't have time to go to anybody below 9. And your 9 must have a solid reason for me to come in. Maybe your reason is like, 9 because I want to make sure I'm talking to the right person. 9 because I want to make sure that this is the right situation for me before I can give you a 10. Things like that. That will be a reason why I may visit a property, right? All right. So those are some of the pre-qualifying questions that I would ask just to make sure that I'm not wasting my time. Nor do I really want to waste anybody else's time, including their time, right? So he goes with a lady who seemed nice and motivated over the phone. I was very excited because I am so ready to close my first deal as in yesterday. You see, that statement tells me you're attached, okay? You have expectation and you're attached. And those two ingredients right there are deal killers, okay? Why? Because you're going to waste time on the wrong people, and you're not going to get to the right deal because you're busy wasting time with the wrong deals, okay? When you're talking to a prospect, you don't want to be attached. You don't want to have unnecessary expectations, okay? That doesn't mean you're assuming that things are going to fall apart. You're just pre-qualifying. You don't know what you don't know, and you have a process and you have a workflow that you want to get through before you start getting excited. So the statement, I was so excited because I am so ready to close my first deal as in yesterday. It tells me that you're desperate, you're needy, and it will show off to the prospect. And if it's prospects can smell you from miles away. If they smell that you're desperate, well, automatically that sounds that you're not confident on helping them, and it sounds like you're clingy, needy, and these things just don't work, okay? They don't add up together. So again, I just given you like 4 or 5 different reasons why you probably had a problem putting that house on that contract. You're coming off a bit too excited as opposed to coming off as a professional who is just there to pre-qualify and see if there's a deal somewhere, right? You are the catch, okay? When you show up to this properties, you are the one with the gift to help them get rid of a property. And if you flip your position with the motivated seller, in other words, you need them, right? If you flip your position, it's gonna show up. It's gonna show up in how you prospect, in your confidence. They're gonna look at you as a punk, and they're gonna treat you as such. They're gonna treat you exactly like a punk, and that's not what you're looking for, right? So he goes, When I got there, she turned cold turkey on me. Yeah, because you were too excited. And if somebody turned cold turkey on me, which is very possible by the way, after you pre-qualify a person, they may turn cold turkey. You turn around and you go like, well, let me ask that question again. Are you sure you want to get rid of this property? On a scale of 1 to 10, what was the number you gave me again? Or 10. Oh, I just wanted to make sure that I'm talking to the right person. Let's have a seat and then we will talk. Again, you want to maintain that posture, that confidence. That position is exactly what you need to maintain in order to put the house under contract. If you fall short of that, they're not going to sign. Okay? Why? Because they sense, they can smell the weakness in you, and nobody wants to work with a weak person, right? Or a weak professional, if you will. All right? So he goes, she didn't sign my contract. It felt like she had actually made up her mind to not sign anything. Okay? So now, if somebody had made up their mind to not sign anything before you show up, it's because you did not ask this question. So typically I would say, if everything goes right, this is what I would say. If everything goes right, how soon are you looking to move forward? Do you need another person? This is the second question. Do you need another person to help you make a decision if everything goes right today? Okay, then I will make sure that person is going to be on ground. If they're not going to be on ground, I'm not coming. Okay? A few exceptions here and there. If the person's out of town, right, then you know, I may consider, depending on how they sound, because this is not an exact science. Sometimes it's a little bit of heart, right? You have to listen and feel on their energy, right? It's not always an exact science, but typically, if everybody that will be that's on the deed are not going to be on ground when I come to the property, I will make sure that they're there. If they're not going to be there, I'm not coming. What's the point? I want to put a house under contract. I need all signatures on the contract. Okay. So again, you can see all the different places where things went weak with you and why this person did not sign this contract. So I will make sure of that. He goes, she didn't sign my contract. It felt like she had actually made up her mind to not sign anything. After trying multiple attempts to get her to sign, she finally took the contract and said she needs a lawyer to see it. I gave her the contract. All right, so here's the thing. If somebody says they need a lawyer to look over a contract, I don't argue, okay? Typically, my contracts are used by lawyers to close deals, so they're good contracts. They may not be a standardized state contract, but they are contracts that are absolutely valid with terms on them, with all parties where they can sign and conditions on them, right? So I don't mind if they want to do that. But if somebody said they want to, I'm just going to give you straight, I'm going to be straight up with you. If somebody said they need their lawyer to see a contract, there's a 99.9875% chance that they're just not motivated, okay? And they're not going to close the deal. Now, if somebody told me they want to show it to a lawyer and they actually close the deal, yes, okay? But number one reason is not because they saw a lawyer. It was because my confidence was not shaken. It didn't matter to me. Like, you want to see a lawyer? Sure. Here's the contract. Now I'm moving on to the next person. I'm not expecting a call back from them. I have no expectation. I have no attachment to the outcome. And that's the position I want to be. So even if you want a person that you're giving a contract to, they want to talk to a lawyer, if you want to increase your chance of them calling you back, it goes back to posture and confidence. And they must smell that. You must know that you are the gift. You are the catch in this situation. You're the one that's bringing the solution to the table. And that needs to show your attitude and your demeanor and how you carry yourself. And if you know that you're bringing a solution to the marketplace here, then it will show your confidence. And also, I'm going to mention this again. Remember I said earlier, the right message, the right medium, the right marketing, right? If you're marketing properly, that means you're sending message that actually help people solve a problem. Then you shouldn't have a problem having the right people call you, and then you can pre-qualify the right people properly. Does that make sense? So he goes, well, she has not picked up the phone since then. Yeah, I can pretty much predict that. And by the way, how do you know they didn't pick up the phone? You're trying to call them. I don't try to call people, okay? If I have that much time to call people, I'm doing more marketing. I'm simply increasing my pipeline, and I want to do more marketing. You should not have time to be calling people. People should be calling you. Yes, you can do follow-up one time. If you talk to somebody, hey, would you like me to follow up with you tomorrow? Maybe you've asked the permission to follow up with them tomorrow. I will follow up once and that's it. Why? Because me calling you and pounding their phone doesn't help my confidence level. It doesn't help my posture when I'm talking to them. I'm coming off as needy when I start calling people like that. So that tells me that again, you've been calling them and pounding their phone, and the more you do that, guess what? The more they're not gonna work. The more they're not gonna work with you. Okay. Let's see here. Well, she has not picked up the phone since then. What am I doing wrong? I'd love a few tips to help to get to my first closed deal. Thanks. To get to your first closed deals, first of all, have no expectation and attachment to any prospect. Do more marketing, answer calls, have confidence that you bring the solution. You're the catch, okay? You're the one bringing the solution to the table. Have that confidence, and then your conversation will show just as much, okay? The way you show up, people will pretty much respond to you accordingly. They will respond to you consistently with the kind of confidence and posture that you bring to the marketplace. And if you don't do that, it will show. Like I said, right? It will show, and you won't like the results, just like this one. So you got to work on the proper marketing, a pipeline of marketing, posture, and confidence. Don't pound people's phone call. You can, with their permission, you can follow up once, and that's it. There's no need to be pounding people's call, right? And that's it. That's pretty much what you want to do. If you want more details and you want this thing to embed it in the way you run your business, download my free book. Okay, get my free book at olatalks.com/mastermind. The link on the screen. That's olatux.com/mastermind. That's where you want to go and get that book. Subscribe. Click the bell right next to the subscribe button to get notifications every time I release a video like this. I do it like 3 times a week now. And then also make sure you click the like button, the share button, okay? Leave your comments, leave your questions in the comment box below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I will see you on the next one, and peace.